What?
You're making faces over there. Hello, I think we're live, and we'll have to wait for people to join us again. We'll have to see how this works. This is from our cell phone now, which means we have no picture set up, which is too bad. But our internet is going nuts. So, as you were saying, from the feed store, we're getting more. I don't know how much of the story came through.
Yeah, so we've got Silkies coming in. The feed store ordered, I don't know, a dozen or 2 dozen or something. They needed some for somebody, and then there's extra, so we're gonna get some of those.
Yep.
So they will be pulling mixed colors, mixed.
We're not getting 2 dozen. They're getting 2 dozen.
Yes. The feed store is getting.
Yeah.
Them, and we're gonna get some of them.
Yes, so we're gonna get about a half dozen Silkies from the feed store, hoping that we have some girls in there. And I am actually starting the live show on here. Bella, you want to come back here? Yeah. Okay. So we are going to hitting things. So now we can read the chat because we have enough internet to get the chat through, but not enough internet to get video through, apparently. So I do apologize for the technical difficulties.
Take your phone off of the Wi-Fi.
It is off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
it is off the Wi-Fi. So we're using Verizon. So this is actually much, much better, I think. So we can watch ourselves at the same time now. So we have us going on the computer behind this, but apparently we didn't have enough upload speed to do a live show, which is too bad. So we now have, it looks like Curie back in the room, Lisa in the room, much better. Yeah, the only downfall is I can't show you the pictures I had from the last 2 weeks, but we're going to have to do something about our internet. I mean,
call the other company.
That would do it. You're going to have to also get in the picture.
We're going to do something to get something to change.
I know, but I'm not home during the day very often. So anyway, we have a busy couple weeks. Should we start? You guys got the Silky story, right? Here now. Hi, Linda. Did you guys get the Silky story on the other feed, or was it just really horrible? We won't have any pictures for it this time, but we weren't getting much video through anyway before. So I don't know how much of a delay we get on the cell phone. I think it's less than what we get through the other thing. But so we had that. Bella updates. What's the Bella update? She heard her name. She turned her face towards me. What's the Bella updates this week? Bella updates this week is we tried to eat yogurt. We tried a little tiny taste of yogurt just to see how she did. She loved it. She loves yogurt. And it was Icelandic vanilla yogurt. That was kind of fun. Otherwise, what else did we have going on last week? That was the big night, was your night.
Sunday night I had All-Star Chef dinner.
Yep.
So that ran from, we started at 5 o'clock and ran till 11:30 or so, doing 2 different dinners for that.
Yeah. So you had 8-course dinner, 8 different chefs.
Yep. Well, really 9 chefs because their chef did a course, did an amuse.
I think that was a part of the 8.
I don't think so. Let's see. We did
the amuse,
seafood, fish, soup, poultry, pork,
red meat, and dessert. That's 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
did we miss something in there?
No, those are 8 pictures I had.
Okay.
So yeah, so you got to do you get assigned a dish to do, right?
Get assigned a course.
A course, yes. That you make up the dish
for a course. But yeah, you're put on a course or a protein, but usually just a protein category. Sometimes there's a theme, but there hasn't been a theme recently. It's just trying to sort out the courses and the ingredients to make sure we don't have too much overlap. So I was on the red meat course.
Linda said, have you ever wanted to open your own restaurant?
Potentially. There's a lot of good and bad things about opening a restaurant.
A lot of hours.
Well, it's just there's a lot. Yeah, it's just you gotta handle a lot of the business, and so there's restaurants that are open for the business of purely making money.
Mm-hmm.
There are restaurants that are open to purely serve excellent food. Those typically have benefactors and make very little money or lose money and have a benefactor that just basically keeps them open and tries to keep them as close to zero as possible and make money when they can. And they're sort of combination restaurants. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways. And I think we'd like to move towards creating some form of a restaurant shop concept with our pasta business into the future, but can't do that immediately.
Yeah.
You have no power.
I just saw that. I can unplug something over here and plug in my phone, which is great. I'm at 15%. But we can keep going for now.
Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah.
Yeah, so you've been thinking about doing a pasta counter type thing at some point. But for right now, making wholesale retail pasta for people.
Yeah, right now I need to do that. I need more people to help operate it, and probably need to bring in a bunch of funding and some form of a partner or backer to at least get it launched. Even if I have an opportunity to kind of buy it out at some point, but to get it off the ground, need some more behind it. But that might happen in the future.
Yep. But what dish did you do for the
So for the
All-Stars?
red meat,
Yes,
I had to do pasta, of course, with red meat.
of course.
So we did a beef or tripe and tongue into a old Roman sauce called pagata, which is cooked down with slow cooked down with vegetables and tomato, and takes a lot of layering of flavors and some white wine. And then it had the tripe in it. We cut that up really small so it wasn't offensive to anybody. The tongue, and we put that in. Sometimes people use sweetbreads or other things, but we didn't want to push it too much. I did sweetbreads last year.
Yeah. Yep.
So as a component with the pork, so we added in some tongue, and then I had a whole grain red fife, which is an ancient heritage grain wheat that was milled locally, and so that was like a whole wheat style pasta. And then I had made a buffalo meatloaf or pate as a garnish, just to give a little more red meat in there. And that was wrapped in a cabbage leaf, so it was sort of a meatloaf dinner and sort of like casual Sunday night dinner. So it was meatloaf dinner and sort of pasta dinner put together.
Yep. So, and it was pretty much like an intro to some of those things, because it wasn't out there standing out like that you had tripe in the sauce.
Yeah, I didn't do big
sauce.
pieces of tripe, which if you do, if you do like Caribbean tripe soup, which is in a clear broth, or you put it in a brown stew, or if you do Spanish style, or Italian style and spicy red sauce and stuff. So it's
it was good.
Yeah, it's a little more out there. Depending on the quality of the tripe and the freshness and how well it's prepared, it can be a little funky and stronger. And that's what sometimes people don't like, or they don't like the texture. So we made sure it was prepared and didn't have any of those strong or off flavors, because we had good quality product. And then we, but a lot of people, menudo is one of it's kind of the Spanish term for the soup or stew. It's a favorite thing for a lot of people, so it's got its followings for sure.
Yeah.
So we wanted to introduce it without getting people too excited either way. So I think overall it was very well received.
Yeah, no, I think it tasted good. I think the only hard thing is with the 8-course meal and you have pasta at the end, it was hard to finish it, but it was really good.
We didn't give it wasn't a particularly large portion, but also people had a lot of food, which was fine, and so they could eat what they liked. They could eat one component or both.
True.
And then we had a fairly light dessert, which I think worked well, because we had a fairly heavy pork dish before that, and we had a modestly heavy duck, and we had a pureed soup that was a bean and pork based soup, and so we had some heavier components towards the end that were made sure there was enough for everybody.
Yeah. So, and we'll open up to some Ask the Chef questions here in a minute. So if you guys have any specific questions, Tina, you sent me a picture that looked like a question on my text earlier that was a set of eggs and one egg didn't have any color to it. That does happen sometimes, that the layer seems to have lost its color for a couple eggs and then gets it back going again. I've seen that happen. Don't know why. It's just occasional. I think it is more often in the winter, so maybe more often when they're stressed or whatnot. But I have noticed that as well. But I love they seem to have a broken toner comment on that. Basically, yes, that's pretty much what happens when the shell formed. It didn't have the
We get crinkly
color in it.
shells. We get
tired.
speckled shells. You get all kinds of stuff. It's just, and you get those in your regular population,
Sorry.
but only the perfect ones go to the grocery store. The other ones that are generally acceptable go into cracked eggs for industrial use, and then there's a few that are discarded that just don't seem like they're going to make it. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, double yolks aren't uncommon. Actually, you can get a lot of double yolks in some of the commercial egg brands. They can kind of screen for that by the weight and the candling. They can generally pull. So they try and pull those out of most of your standard grocery store batch ones.
Sometimes on the jumbos, you might get
jumbos. You might, or if you're going to a discount store, they may be a little less particular about. And there's nothing wrong with them. So.
I'm gonna let you guys ask the chef what's going on. Maybe you want to explain a little bit more about the All-Star chefs and if there's any questions about any other meals. I will post a picture of that on Part-Time Permies because we have a picture of that, what your dish is. So if you're on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll see it there. Because I did originally have those pictures lined up to show you, but that didn't work. But the interesting one was, why don't you tell them about that dessert? No.
Well, it doesn't. It's not very helpful without a picture. I think it'd be
know.
better to do it at some other point.
Okay, we can try another time.
That's
But
not useful.
it was interesting, though. It was an interesting meal. But
Yeah, so large eggs, sometimes the shell doesn't form all the way around at the end.
I'll be right back.
Because the shell forms after, as the yolks are coming out. So you could actually have 2 days worth of eggs or yolks that get trapped into one large shell. That happens too. So, well, that's kind of what's always happening. The shell formation just grabs 2 yolks. So, yeah. Do you sell pasta at the market? Yeah, I sell pasta at our local farmers market year round. At our main farmers market for 7 months a year. At an indoor, sort of a private market that's across from the main farmers market the remainder of the year. And then in the summer, we pick up one additional market. And then we sell at a number of farm stores and some more kind of butcher store and some more like independent grocery specialty food stores. So yeah, but I am at the market virtually every weekend. A chicken laying in a rabbit nest box, but not leaving chocolate eggs. So you're bummed. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we do have a website. I have a retail website and some links for some of our wholesale stuff, which is what we do for the restaurants and stores. But yeah, you can look at that if you're looking for things out of town. We don't sell outside of our general area at this point, except for our online program. So yeah, have to check on the chops. Assume the chops are still walking around, or are they in the pan? So yeah. What else? We got some egg, or we got some seeds in this week.
Oh
The beginning of our Baker
Creek seeds came in.
A few of our more specialty ones came in this week.
Yep, and we're expecting a delivery of. Expecting a delivery of Emma Gardner seeds coming very soon. And I'm going to give a heads up apology because I'm going to plug in my cell phone, which means my cell phone will likely move for a minute, which is our camera right now, because those of you guys who joined late, our internet.
Yeah, and Lisa, if you put a note, and if you do decide to do an order, if you put a note in, one thing we have if you do $50 or more, it's free shipping. That's kind of begins our sweet spot. Shipping's a big part of the cost, so we do sell locally a little less expensive. But shipping's a big part of getting the product out to you. So $50 is beginning the sweet spot where our shipping sort of balances, and we do that for free. So there's a promo code for that. Also, if you leave a note, which I think you can leave a note in the order that you're coming from Part-Time Permies, usually we slip in a couple extra things, like sometimes an extra bag of our choice or a tote bag or something like that. We're just trying to give you a little something freebie. Extra. So yeah. So just let us know that. And if we don't catch it offhand, usually I do, but we'll try and get it in there because we do get we don't do a lot of mail order, but we get enough stuff from all over. We're working on expanding that more too. So
Oh, and
yeah.
somebody doesn't want to be in the next room.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Saw the comments on menudo. I have not made a true Spanish menudo. I've had some. I've worked with a lot of Dominican and Puerto Rican cook crew, so many times it's a favorite for of some of their families. And the way I always understand it, it can be really good or really not good. But is it greasy? Well, depending on how you make it and the other thing, sometimes it has other pork pieces, like some cooked in to help flavor it up and remove some of the grease. So a lot of that has to do with the preparation. Tripe itself is not overly greasy, so it's the you can get tripe from different animals. Hog tripe, or hog stomach is or chitlin, intestines and stuff are much stronger in flavor. When you're dealing with your standard young cow stomach, it's more mild, and there's different parts of the stomach. There's actually three pieces. You have the honeycomb, which is considered sort of the best, more most luxurious, and has a little web structure to it. You have the book tripe and the leaf tripe, I think it is. Mm-hmm. So you get like layers, and sometimes the green tripe before it's cleaned is sometimes called carpet tripe. Cleaning it's very difficult. It always comes cleaned. It's actually very heavily scraped and sort of chemicaled, and to clean the inside surfaces off, because you really don't want to do that. It's just so much work and not great. However, any of those usually get blanched, ideally about 3 times. And you blanch it in salted water, and so you're trying to make sure you clear it out and take out any flavors, which aren't. It's not a very strong flavored item. However, part of the treatment, commercial treatment, it can be bleached, a bleaching solution, which makes it both safe and makes it whiter in color, and so you can actually have some bleachy flavors, and they don't use tremendous amounts, but you can get some bleachy smells. So those 3 blanches will actually help remove any of that sodium chloride flavor, which you obviously don't want in your soup or stew or sauce.
No.
So that's the important part, is that blanching. However, the most of it, there is some sort of muscle structure on the outside, and the inside is really a stretchy collagen. Which you find in joints and other things, and so there is some fat in there, but really what you've got is meat protein and collagen, specialized protein, and so you cook that for 2 or 3 hours, a long time to break it down and soften it. It still has some texture or a little bit of chew or give to it. It shouldn't be too chewy. But you should release the fat. So the fat can definitely be pulled off of it. Italians like to do it with either a brown sauce or a spicy red sauce. Also, and so there's quite a number of ethnic preparations that are similar, but all have their own different. So good hearty winter food. It's low cost. A lot of people like to do it after a late night out or early morning after coming back. In Spanish tradition, it's considered to be the best hangover food.
Oh boy!
I think just because it's rich and fatty and collagen-y, and I don't know, and maybe thinks it makes everything better, but it's a hearty warm soup regardless, or stew. It's really more stewy. So that's a little bit. If you haven't had menudo or tripe in any form, it can also be cooked down, put into tacos, or put into clear broth. There's a variety of ways to use it. So
see Food Forces making chops.
I saw. I said I'd have to check the chops. I wasn't sure if the chops were in the oven or pan, or if the chops were walking around in the yard.
Oh yeah, right. That would be funny.
Yeah.
But
I thought our tripe, after all the caramelizing of vegetables and the white wine, the tomato paste and herbs and everything in there, I thought it tasted a lot like asabuco, actually.
Yeah.
Very similar to an asabuco, which also has some nice, rich collagen and not chewy, but kind of viscous and gelatiny components to it. But it's mild because the tripe I was working with was a good quality beef tripe, which would be young, so it'd probably be veal, veals. And asabuco is traditionally veal, although you can do a beef shank that's a little stronger, just a little more beefy. So yeah, I actually thought it tasted a lot like asabuco.
Yeah, it did. It was definitely very good though. I was going to mention something else. Oh yeah, we were going to do a little giveaway.
Do we have
tonight.
enough people?
I don't know how many people are in the room. We have 10
Like
people
10?
in the room.
That's not
Well,
bad.
we might be one of those 10.
Well,
Well,
now
it
we
just
got
bounced to 11.
All right, so we got 11 people in the room.
So we do. We might have to do a
So it's a-
February giveaway today because we
Yeah,
never
so we're a
did
little
get a
bit short
February.
because of the false
Yeah.
start. We're probably
We
got-
only had 2 shows in February.
Well, we've probably only got half the crowd in here
Yeah.
right now from our false
Yeah.
start tonight. But
Yeah. Although I think most of them have made their way back in for
Mhm.
tonight, but might give it a few more minutes. But we might do a live giveaway tonight as well. Thank you, Curie, for posting the West Michigan Pasta and Provisions webpage. You can check that out if you're interested in any of the pasta that Mike makes. We have that on the webpage there. Dina, hello. Just joined in tonight. We've been bouncing in and out, so doing a cell phone live at this point. Because our internet's getting worse and worse, unfortunately.
yeah, and we're getting a bunch more building down the road,
Mhm.
so I think there may be more subscribers than it's supposed to be handling because we didn't have a problem at first. There is
No.
supposed to be a new super fast provider in the area.
Whether or not they've
I think they've just reached out here.
Yeah.
From what I've been seeing, but we haven't checked on that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to check on better internet services again, because otherwise we only have 2 choices: slow and slower.
Yeah, so which is unfortunate. We got enough people out here. We shouldn't have any issue with
No.
getting some decent speed.
Yeah. I guess some competition between them would be nice.
We've got 3 or 4 companies now. There was only one. I think we're at 4 now.
And the one that is going out of business. So they were
are?
horrible. Yeah. Frontier, I heard filed Chapter 11 from what
really?
I've heard,
Oh, I
at
know
least talk. So
I didn't know that. There you
they
go.
were bad. They were not good.
Frontier in some parts of the country was the best
Yeah.
provider, but I didn't know they were going out of business.
That's what I've
I'm
heard
sure
from the
somebody will
grapevine.
buy them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So we will do that. We do have little buffering still tonight through Verizon, but at least we're going through Verizon tonight and have video now. But for those of you guys who have not done, I actually have to find my little notepad, have not done our giveaway before, what we do is we do a first person who answers the question correctly. Where's my notepad? It's
No, you
usually
gotta
right
clean your
here.
desk.
I do need to clean my desk, but it's usually right in front here. But we have basically the first person who answers the question correctly wins, and it has to be the first person who shows up on our screen. We do a giveaway, either a choice of 2 pastas from the business, or I think this time we could do a $20 gift certificate at MI Gardner if anybody still needs a few more seeds. I think that would be a good one to get any last minute seeds you want to come through.
They have a few things that are out of stock, but they still have a lot of things
still
that are.
have a number
They
of
still have
things.
the majority of their things in stock.
Yeah,
So
so
you're looking at their site.
and they're very reasonable pricing, so you can actually
Get a lot for your money. Yep.
for $20. So yeah, so those are going to be our choices: $20 gift certificate at My Gardener if you still need a few more seeds, or 2 bags of pasta. And I guess the question is going to be, what was the big event that Mike just did last weekend, which I know we just talked a ton about.
Might be hard to get that one right. I don't know.
I don't know. What was the name of this big event that Mike just did? And the first person who comes across our screen as being correct answer will get the prize in the choice of prizing, I should say.
Food Forest Unknown.
Unknown. So nobody's typing anything in yet. No, there is probably a little delay though. Not Chef's
Just
Night
that,
Out.
That's not a bad.
Not a bad guess though. 8 chefs and 8 courses, but it's.
I think you mentioned it, but I don't think you mentioned it in
I
any,
didn't.
in any
No, but
priority.
Actually, those who had joined us from the other show, that when we try to go online, should know this. It's not showing up in this description, but it was there before. And that gives you a clue. If you have internet, you can look it up. Whoever can look it up first now. The other show showed it.
There you go.
All-Star
Oh,
Chef dinner. Yeah.
yep. All
That's-
right, there you go.
yep.
Amy Lynn Casper is the winner.
Yes. So Amy Lynn, I don't think you've won before with us at all. What you'll need to do is send me an email at parttimepermies, at all one word is for part-time permies, parttimepermies@gmail.com, or send me a text through Facebook to our group, which is Part-Time Permies on Facebook as well. And let me know whether you want 2 bags of pasta, which you can check out the webpage if you want that, and you can pick
Either
2.
you can pick 2. I think everything is pretty much in stock, or you can ask us to send 2, and we'll pick two fun
2
things
for
for
you.
you, or the seeds.
Or you could get the MI Gardner
And you'll-
$20 gift
you'll
certificate, and
email the gift certificate. I'm assuming,
we can send it to you. So yes,
or we'll mail it. If I think we'll probably email it.
I think I could do that straight through their webpage. So, yay, Amy Lynn Casper, good job. And welcome to our channel where we do once a month giveaways.
Might be twice this month, even though we had we had a 5 Saturday February this
We
year.
did. So we must have, but we didn't have 5 Sundays.
No, next in 4 years. Next leap year we will have a 4 Sunday.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, no, we only went live twice.
We'll have a 5 Sunday.
We only went live twice last month because we had a couple weekends where we were busy on Sundays. So we didn't get a giveaway last month. So technically this is the February giveaway, even though it's March 1st. We will do a March giveaway some other week this month. So if you guys join us, you'll be able to catch that. But yeah, just send us information on which gift you'd like and where to send it. That would be great. Otherwise, yeah. So anybody else getting their seeds in the mail? I'm guessing a number of you probably are. Have them.
Yes, they're in the stores.
Anybody started seeds?
They're even in the stores up here. So if
They
you're
are.
in the south, they're
Definitely
about ready to go in the ground. So
Yeah, Carrie's
places-
probably got it stuff growing already. Built on the rock. Do you have anything in the ground yet, or in the rocks yet, or in your raised beds yet? We don't have anything outside other than our perennials, but we do have spinach coming up in the greenhouse, and arugula coming up, and I just put in some carrot and parsnip seeds into one pot last weekend, so that should take a few weeks to come up as well. But yeah, so lots of stuff happening around here. A few weeks we'll have silkies. I'm gonna try to rig up heat for the brooder. I'm gonna try to use a I think it's called cozy coop heater. I'm gonna try to rig that one up to use as a brooder heater instead of buying something new, I think. So try that, get some pictures of that and send that out. And it looks like, I think a text just came through from Ben Windy. Wanted to try to work in the garden yesterday, had something come up. Yes, that's always a problem. We need more days in the week. I definitely do. Don't have time to do half of the things I want to do. But anybody else is so quiet in the chat room tonight. Lisa planted out kale.
Where are you at, Lisa?
Yeah, what state?
Yep.
Tuesday, bad weather predicted in Texas for Built on the Rock. Lisa's in North Carolina.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we had about 4 or 5 inches of snow this week. We had a couple days with 2 or 3 inches and a couple days with some dustings.
We were
But,
almost 50 today.
Yeah, we got a lot of melting today, but the beginning of the week was cold, and actually that might have been about our most snow, combined snow over a few days. We haven't had a lot of deep snow this year.
Yeah, no, it's been a little bit, well, mild. We could get another big snowstorm or two.
Oh, we might also get some more snow probably, but yeah, we're through the bulk of it to be able. Well, some years we have 2 or 3 feet piled up if it's cold enough and get enough at the right times. We had some really heavy rainstorms. If those had turned to rain, we could have had 4 or 5 feet of snow, I think.
Yeah.
But they were rain this year.
So I think that's. Do we have anything else going on? Any other cooking? Oh, broccoli's up. Oh, that's awesome. Diana, just a sec. Where are you guys exactly? I forget where you guys are at. Nothing planting outside.
Yeah, broccoli.
Oh, that's in
yeah.
trays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because broccoli doesn't like to go. It likes cooler weather once it's established, but it doesn't germinate until it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was thinking about planting some leek seeds today. Just didn't have time to, so maybe I'll get to that next week. Um, they're in Southwest Ohio, so
Okay. Yep.
yeah, a little bit ahead of us. We should be starting some indoor stuff here, especially the onions and leeks can start now. Celery can start now, and then very soon we'll be getting into full swing on planting very quickly.
Just west of Cleveland.
Wow. Taking care of 80-year-old parents. Wow. Haven't had time to think, just west of Cleveland. Yeah, I know the thought of not having time to think. I work full time and we have a 4.5-month-old baby, and you're trying to do a startup business, which takes more than full time a lot of times. So it is, I understand the need for more time. But I am hoping to
Dana's
grow
in
some.
Texas. Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Quite a bit ahead.
East
Quite a bit
Texas.
ahead growing than we are.
Yeah. Planted lettuce today and carrots. Cool. Good night, Food Forest. I know Food Forest is out near Vancouver, I want to say. Definitely Canada. So yeah, all over the place. And I think they're probably a zone or two warmer than us at Food Forest. But so most places are warmer than us. Most people in the room right now are warmer than us.
Vancouver Island.
Yes.
They've got, there are a few. There may be more than 2. They may be 3 or 4 zones warmer than us.
Yeah, because they get all of them.
Yeah, Vancouver Island's buffered.
Yes.
Lots of Texas tonight.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's spring in Vancouver Island. Yeah, it's the right time. Yeah, we're gonna be 4 ways out.
Treat 2 80-year-olds for the 4.5-month-old. I don't know. Either end is probably a little bit of work here. This 4.5-month-old is tired and doesn't want to fall asleep yet.
And Cindy's parents are in their 80s, but they still take care of themselves.
My mom's going to be 80. She's making it older.
True. She's approaching 80.
She's
Dad
80
is
this
in
year.
his early 80s.
Yes, but no, they're still very independent on their own, and for that matter, helping the grandkids at times too. Anything else? I think that's. I don't know if we're gonna just have a short show tonight, or unless you
I
had
don't know if
anything
anybody
else.
any food questions or other things going on, gardening or
Gardening, food questions,
whatever else.
startup questions. Anybody doing permaculture stuff? Anybody doing bio-intensive things? Companion planting?
Doing market gardening or markets?
Yeah. We don't do market gardening. We just do gardening for ourselves. And goal is to do some gardening for a baby as well, who will be starting on solids in the next couple months. So we did try to give her yogurt already, and she loved it, vanilla yogurt.
Just a mouthful.
Yeah, it just tastes. I mean, we're not. That's the whole thing at this point. It's just to give her tastes of things, see what she likes, and get her used to some textures and tastes. Not anything else. But
Okay, was that at church? Were you taking care of the nursery?
I was gonna say, yeah, the parents take them home. That's fun. You get to play with them. They're fun to play with at this age. This one is starting to roll on her side, not all the way over, but on her side quite a bit.
Yep. I thought I remember saying she does the
Church toddler.
sometimes on the okay.
Yeah, I had to take Bella into the church mama's room. They have a nice little setup over there where there's rocking chairs and a bassinet and changing table, and Mike is getting clawed by a cat.
He was trying to claw my sock.
Oh, but it was a little warm in there, so she did fall asleep, which probably I guess is a good thing. But as soon as I brought her back in the cooler sanctuary, she woke back up again. So
yeah, we may try and make some of our baby food depending on time and season availability. I have Vita Prep, high-powered mixer, and we have a chopper, and I actually have a meat grinder too. I have a small meat grinder and a very large meat grinder, so we have the ability to puree and
as needed.
do things if needed.
Oh,
And I have a food mill. I have an industrial food mill, so we kind of have all
Yeah.
of that covered, and actually have a juicer too.
the other style of starting babies on solids is actually giving them soft, squishable, large chunks that they can actually handle themselves, and they can decide whether they like it or not. Of course, that gets very messy because then you're not feeding them; they're feeding themselves. But I did try to give her a piece of banana today, but she sniffed it, she licked it, and she set it aside. So the banana wasn't as much of a hit as the little taste of yogurt.
It's like moderately sweetened, and vanilla yogurt is
It's,
more similar to milk.
yes, yeah. Well, it's a dairy product to begin with, but yeah. So, yeah. So we will be doing baby food stuff. I have seen the freeze it in ice cube trays idea and making that work for the pureed things. So we'll see what we do with that. But we're growing carrots and parsnips right now in pots. If they haven't germinated yet, but they're hopefully in the next week or so going to germinate and grow for us. So that might be some of the first things we grow for her.
Mm-hmm.
We have spinach we could puree. That will
Need a
have
lot
to
of
be
spinach to
have to
puree.
be bigger.
Doesn't takes a lot of spinach to get
Yes.
much of anything.
That's true. Now we have arugula, but I'm not sure how well that will go
That's
over.
typically spicy.
Yeah,
I may not.
we probably
You
won't.
might
like
want to move
that one.
into a not so bitter, like a mild kale, before you go to arugula.
Yeah, probably. So anyway, we do plan on doing that a bit. We have some beets and things that we'll be planting later. And Helix is wanting to photobomb. You got a cattail in the picture. Hello, everyone. Yes, hello, Angie's Pantry. Yes, hello. Angie's Pantry. Are you going to go to Hootenanny this year? I think you're in Michigan, right? I'm trying to remember. Thank you, Carrie. So, yeah, I am running out of things, and it's about 10 o'clock. So we're not getting a whole lot of cooking questions tonight. We had a rough start on the show, but yes, I thought you were in Michigan.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We had a good cooking thing. Church today, the children's school, which is associated to the church, was doing a bake sale. I'm like, the classic Lenten bake sale. What great planning.
Yeah, right.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. And they also had tacos and things there. But, oh, you did have something. You got a fun market find last week. We should go over that.
What was that?
The mushrooms.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Oh my gosh, time is just getting mixed
Yeah,
up.
we have a cultivated mushroom seller at the market most weeks. They've been getting more and more adventurous in the varieties they've offered over the last few years.
Yes.
So we were doing some salmon yesterday for dinner, and so I did saute some cultivated wild mushrooms,
Yeah.
some lentils with that, and
They
some
were
asparagus.
chestnut mushrooms, poplar mushrooms, and maitake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were definitely pretty tasty.
I don't know. If you can get the chocolate eggs, let us know.
No. So planning on hoping to make hootenanny. We are as well. In fact, that's another thing on the to-do list. I have to go and contact the Pratts, because the Pratts, you have to reserve campgrounds straight through them this year. So we'll be doing that. Good recipe for
phyllo dough.
Phyllo dough.
Generally, people do not make phyllo dough. There is a Food Network had a really nice thing quite a few years ago on a family, Greek family, but I want to say they might be like Seattle or somewhere, but I'm not certain. That still makes phyllo dough or phyllo dough, depending on how you want to say it. And it's similar to making like strudel dough, where you stretch it and pull it on like the back of your hands, and it should be pulled so you can basically read a newspaper through it.
Mm.
And then they cut it into sheets. Basically, nobody does that anymore. There's a tradition. This family's been doing it. They sell it. So I would look on the internet, discover the internet. There's probably something on YouTube showing that it is not practical to do it. It's very to get the right dough, get the right temperature, right humidity, and liquid that it will stretch and not dry out before you get it stretched and cut. Um,
Difficult to
yeah,
sound.
strudel. I mean, you could do a probably supplement with a strudel dough, which is then rolled up. And strudel dough is a soft yeast dough that you pull and usually use a table and use two people or more around a table and you pull it on the back of your, kind of, you pull it with the back of your hands. I've done that a few times. It definitely comes out really nice. A lot of people make strudels with phyllo dough. That's really not strudel dough. It works out fine, but it's not I don't think it's as good.
Andrew uses the pasta maker to roll it out.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it fairly thin, and then I guess, so that, yeah, I've never done it. I am quite happy buying. Um, there's a company that made really good puff pastry and Danish dough, and I think they have some phyllo dough out of New York. Or just buying the grocery store one. One thing I did learn when you're buying it commercially, if you can buy it refrigerated, don't freeze it. The freezing thawing, even though it'll hold longer, really causes it to fracture, and so you want to keep it refrigerated. So yeah, I would say it's one of those things I'm happy just buying it because it is very technical.
Difficult.
And the machinery makes it a lot easier. It's basically flour and water, and there's no secret ingredients in it.
My Polish is currently residing in the basement, recovering from getting the top of her head pecked. Oh no, is giving me about 4 small eggs a week, but nothing from the horde out in the coop. I guess if they're stressed, you might have an issue. If you have,
we're not getting as many eggs as we should, but we have too many boys running around.
Yeah.
They're all attacking everything.
Yeah, so there are actually 6 boys in that group. 5 need to go.
So we had this problem last year, and we figured, so we need to find time as soon as possible to take them out.
Yeah.
Either separate them or put them in the freezer.
Yes. So, and we only have boys in the silky coop right now because we've lost our girls to a possum that moved in. So, well, I guess we don't need to get rid of the boy in there because we'll get rid of one of them. But
No.
Because we just need girls now. They're not going to be related to the girls because the girls of the possum ate were related to the rooster that we had. So we were planning on getting rid of the rooster and getting a new rooster, but it sounds like we're doing the opposite. Nature changes things around a little bit on us. So, hands full with puppy and wife stuck in bed, not being allowed to bear weight on her feet for many more weeks. Why? What's going on with, is it some health problem or pregnancy related? I don't know what you have going on at that end right now, but if it's bed rest for pregnancy, that could be hard.
Silky girls turn out to be boys.
Yeah, that does happen too. The problem is the silkies take so long to mature that it's sometimes hard to tell that they're boys until either they start crowing or they start getting their nice little knot on the top of their head that they
broken
get.
foot. Ooh.
Oh no. Broken foot's no fun and you can't hardly do anything. 2 places and oh geez. Yep. And you could get you could get cooped up in the bedroom easily. That's hard to try to find things to do. Yep. Betty Pell, who's got the Flintstones? My sister was a Flintstone. No, she wasn't. She was on a roller derby team, and her derby name was Roxanne Hard Place. And when they found out, she stopped skating because she got pregnant. And when they found out she was having a daughter, the whole team named her daughter Pebbles. So Pebbles in a hard place instead of Rocks in a hard place, which was funny. But Pebbles is more into swimming right now than roller skating. So I have to see what sport she actually gets into. Screws, plates, and etc. No, not regulars. Okay, I didn't know age. Late 50s. Hey, you never know with IVF, okay? In vitro fertilization gets people places with some extra hormones to help out. But no. Yeah, any other cooking questions or chicken questions or garden questions? If not, we should probably cut out because it's after 10 at night and I do have to work tomorrow. By the way, keep watching. Follow us on Instagram. Most of our stuff is still going up there as far as updates on what's going on around here. Or the Facebook. We have a Facebook page and Facebook group that we keep posting to as well. So if you want to keep up with projects around here, that's been the way we've been trying to keep things going. I haven't had time to do any videos yet, so I have to figure out if that will be a part of what we ended up doing this year or when that's going to cut back in.
Gonna do 5-minute one shot no edit videos.
Yeah, those are hard. It's actually harder, almost harder to do the quick little things than a longer video with hardly any edits. Facebook only for Carrie, but most of our Instagram things get transferred over to
they automatically go over
to the Facebook page,
Facebook.
not the Facebook group. The Facebook group is more for discussions, but the Instagram pictures automatically get transferred to the Facebook page if you're interested in what's going on. I have posted a few videos of other people's on the Facebook group, so if you're interested in those, one was I think it's in China, the woman who has the permaculture land there, and amazing editing and videography on her projects. And then Hugh from England had a great set of tips for gardening, like free things you could do to help your garden. So I shared that today or yesterday as well. So I'll keep doing that too, because as I nurse a baby, I do have a little bit of time to watch videos and find some interesting ones from other people. But I think we're done for the night. I don't see any more questions coming through. So we will try this again next week. We'll see how our internet does. If not, we're going to have to resort to just cell phone.
Call and see if we can find out information about
See
the
if we
other
have
providers.
better providers in our area yet. But and I'm about to try to turn this off by going to my computer. That doesn't work when we're on the cell phone. I'm trying to use the mouse on the cell phone. That doesn't work. So we will say good night. Built on the Rock, his last video is of baby goats playing. Well, that sounds like it's about as fun as Chicken TV and Chick TV. So you're gonna have to share that one. Those are fun to watch. Baby goats are very inventive in their play sometimes. But we will see you guys next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give you more updates on things going on, and maybe we'll have some seeds started by then too. So we'll see you then. Have a good night, everybody, and have a good week.
Bye.